So we have Miss Alina Lopez back.
Hi.
Hi. We like to call you ALO around here.
I like that nickname.
It's very fitting. So we had you here before, but we didn't get to know a lot about you. Mm-hmm. So I kind of want to take us back to like when you were in high school.
Okay. I was definitely the bad influence. I was definitely like kind of an aggressive person in all senses of the word. I mean, sexually, even kind of physically. I mean, I was in sports. I was a competitive cheerleader, which is like a completely different. When you think cheer, you think like high school cheer, like pom poms and stuff. But I mean, competitive cheer is like the real fucking deal.
Tell us.
It's intense. I mean, we're not just like, like yay team go. Like it's nothing like that. It's cutthroat. Especially the team I was on, we were like state championships multiple years in a row, like, and it's a teamwork. And I was the leader of my stunt group. We each had individual stunt groups, and I'm a dominant person. So the coach thought, hey, she'd be a good stunt group leader. So that was me. But I think maybe I was still young and kind of immature, and the power maybe went to my head a little bit. And I would yell at my group a lot, and even like get in fights with them, and it got so bad to the point where I even got kicked off the team.
Oh, no way.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I got kicked off my cheer team. I was such a bad girl.
So during it, like, explain more. Like, you went to championships and...
Yes. We were at a gym that also had gymnastics, and it was the kind of gym where you only send your kids there if you want, like it's not recreational. You send your kids there to gymnastics if you want them to go to the Olympics. You send your kids there to cheer if you want them to get scholarships. Like they don't fuck around at this gym. It was definitely like a high end and strict, like no bullshit zone. So
this is so fun knowing because you did a bunch of stuff for us in Hot Bodies.
Yeah, in my other Hard X scene.
Yeah.
And that was my first scene with you, actually.
And
that was my first scene, and I got to take those skills that I learned in cheer, the physical skills with like, doing my back handsprings and stuff, and then I got to channel the aggression that I had in cheer into the sex that I had. So it was like, back then it was a bad thing because I shouldn't have been behaving that way. I got kicked off the team and all that. But now it's all, I get to take those things that people told me were bad and turn it into something hot and sexy and fun. So I have no regrets. Because
sure.
I mean, it all turned out great, and look where it's gotten me now.
Yeah, for sure.
I was very different, I think, is the best way to put it. I knew from a young age that I definitely I didn't really fit in with a lot of other girls. They were more focused on, sports or school, which I was too, but the difference between me and them was that I was very sexually mature at that age.
Okay.
And sexually adventurous.
Okay. Can you tell us some of that?
I would be, in the movies and girls have sleepovers and, they like are like, oh, like we should practice kissing on each other. That would be me. I would be the one initiating that.
With the girls?
Yeah, I'm the girl at the sleepover who's like, let's play spin the bottle. Let's play truth or dare.
Oh my gosh.
I was a bad example. All the parents hated me and hasn't really changed.
That's fun. Okay. How about with boys? Were you...
I loved boys and I loved girls, all throughout high school, obviously. And I think I really gravitated, since I considered myself to be pretty experienced. I mean, even if I hadn't been with a lot of people, I felt confident. So to kind of challenge myself, it's too easy to go hook up with people that are like slutty too. Two sluts are obviously going to have sex.
Okay.
So I would go for the challenging guys, the nerdy ones, the shy ones, the virgins who, would just run away from girls. And there I'd be chasing after them like, get back here. I'm not done with you.
Okay, tell us some stories.
I had a guy, I mean, it sounds like the most generic story or like made up, but it is true. I asked him to help me with homework. I believe it was either math or history. Which I was actually good at both, but gotta put out that front.
Oh my God.
So I invited him over, and my parents were home and his parents were home, so we couldn't, I knew that home wasn't a good place, but I lived like a block away from the school, and it started to get dark, and I had eased the mood into more casual at that point. I'm like, you know what, let's go hang out at the school, you know, like let's go for a walk. So, you know, take him, and we went out to the school, and it ended up kind of getting dark. And I laid out a blanket for us on the football field, and we're talking about football and the game and stuff that's coming up. And, you know, I started kind of rubbing his leg a little bit, and he was all shy and cute, but like I immediately saw that he was hard. So I'm like, okay, it's on. So, I mean, long story short, I ended up taking his virginity on the school football field.
No way.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And I remember I was on top of him. Obviously, he'd never done it before. And I was like riding him for a minute. And then I'm like, okay, now you get on top of me. And he got on top, and he gave me like 2 pumps, and he's like, maybe you should just do it. He was so shy and scared to like, he didn't know what to do. And I was like, oh, so sweet. So then I rode the fuck out of him. And
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's awesome.
Oh wait, and that same guy, we actually ended up like kind of dating a little bit. And you know, when you're young, you have to be creative with where you have sex, because neither of our very religious parents would ever allow us to hang out at each other's houses alone. So I remember one night I was over at his house, hanging out, and we were like, oh, we're just gonna go jump on the trampoline, you know, in the backyard. We did not turn on the backyard lights, like all the lights were off, so it was dark out there. So we ended up having sex on the trampoline. It's like pitch black dark out there, and in the middle of having sex, I didn't even hear it. I was too into it, and he's all of a sudden he was behind me. I think it was like doggy, or like I was laying on my stomach, and he just goes shh in my ear, and I was like, what? And he's like, just be quiet. And I was like, what is it? And he heard he saw someone coming out the back door, and we're both like, oh shit. But it's dark, so we're just like trying to not move. I think he was like still in me even, and we just like lay down on the trampoline. We're just like holding still, and it was his sister. His younger sister had come out, and she sat on the edge of the trampoline. She was just like on her phone, and we're just like sitting there like waiting for her to leave.
And she never saw you?
She didn't even see us, no. And you know, now that we're all adults, and we're still good friends, and we told her about that, and she was like, ew, no, like she was so grossed out. I'm like, well, you didn't see us, so.
Wow. So you're very creative. You were very creative back then.
I mean, like, you gotta do what you gotta do. It was, you know, like I said, you gotta be creative with spaces. So like backyard, a lot of outside sex, which I secretly kind of miss. I feel like I need to get back into that. I need to pretend like houses are off limits, because that forces you to be creative. Cars, backyards, garages, you know, parks at night, which actually is very illegal, so maybe not, but
and football fields.
Football fields, and yeah.
You were a naughty girl.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Still are.
Still are, yeah.